Imagine a twilight sky over a quiet Georgia highway, the kind of road where the hum of cicadas drowns out everything but your thoughts. It's April 4th, 2025. Yes, today, and a sleek black SUV cuts through the dusk, its tinted windows hiding a passenger who carries more weight than anyone on this stretch of asphalt could guess. Behind the wheel is Marcus Tate, a man whose name commands respect in the halls of Washington, the FBI director. He's black, brilliant, and unflinching, a figure who's spent decades dismantling crime from the shadows. But tonight, he's just a man driving home from a long day, his suit jacket slung over the passenger seat, his mind on the speech he's drafting for a civil rights conference. Then, out of nowhere, red and blue lights flash in his rear view. A patrol car screeches up, and before Marcus can process it, a white police officer, Officer Daniel Hargrove, is at his window, gun drawn, barking orders. "Hands where I can see him. Out of the car now." Marcus freezes, not out of fear, but disbelief. This isn't just a traffic stop. It's a showdown that's about to flip the script on everyone involved. Stick with me, because what unfolds next isn't just a clash of badges. It's a reckoning centuries in the making, and you won't believe how it ends. Let's set the stage properly, because a moment this charged doesn't happen without roots. Marcus Tate isn't your average suit. He's 52, a former street cop turned federal agent, a man who clawed his way up from Atlanta's roughest corners to the top of the FBI. His skin's a shade darker than the oak trees lining this road, and his eyes carry the scars of 1,000 battles, some with criminals, some with the system itself. He's seen it all: drug busts in Chicago, corruption probes in New Orleans, even a standoff with a militia in Idaho. But this is personal. He's not speeding. His GPS clocked him at 62 in a 65. His tags are clean, his record spotless. So why's Hargrove, a 30-something cop with a buzz cut and a chip on his shoulder, treating him like a felon? The answer's as old as the dirt under their feet, and it's one I've spent years unpacking. Race isn't just a factor here. It's the fuse. Before we dive deeper, let's talk about that fuse. I've studied racial profiling for decades, and the stats don't lie. Black drivers are 20% more likely to be pulled over than white drivers, per a 2023 Stanford study, and twice as likely to face force. But numbers don't tell the whole story. Lived experience does. Marcus knows this roadblock isn't random. He's driven this route 100 times, past the same gas stations and pine groves, without a second glance from local PD. Tonight, though, Hargrove's eyes locked on his SUV like a hawk on prey. Why? Maybe it's the car. Too nice for a black man in this county, Hargrove might think. Maybe it's the hour. Too late for someone like him to be out. Or maybe it's just the unspoken rule of power. Some cops see a black face and assume guilt before innocence. Marcus has seen it before, but never like this. Not with a gun in his face and the weight of his title hanging silent in the air. Back to the moment. Marcus keeps his hands on the wheel, palms up, voice calm. "Officer, I'm reaching for my ID. I'm a federal agent." Hargrove's gun doesn't waver. I set out of the car. Now, the air crackles with tension. Marcus moves slow, deliberate, sliding his badge from his pocket, a gold shield that gleams even in the dim light. Hargrove squints, then scoffs. "Fancy fake. You think that's going to save you?" Marcus's jaw tightens. He's not just any agent. He's the damn director of the FBI, but he knows saying it might escalate this from bad to deadly. He steps out, hands raised, the barrel inches from his chest. Hargrove's radio crackles, his partner, a rookie named Jenkins, hanging back, wide-eyed but silent. "Run his plates," Hargrove snaps. Jenkins hesitates, then complies. The response comes fast, registered to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Hargrove's face twists, confusion, then fury. "Bullshit," he mutters, but the gun dips slightly. Now, let's zoom out, because this isn't just about Marcus and Hargrove. It's a microcosm of a war I've traced through history. Think about the 1960s, when civil rights marchers faced dogs and hoses, or the 90s, when Rodney King's beating lit up every TV screen. Fast forward to 2020, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and the pattern's clear. Power doesn't like being questioned, especially by those it's used to controlling. Marcus isn't a protester or a suspect. He's the head of a federal agency. Yet here he is, staring down a barrel, because Hargrove can't compute a black man with authority. I've interviewed dozens of black cops, agents, even judges, and they all say the same thing. No title shields you from the assumption of threat. Marcus knows this. He's lived it. And right now, he's calculating. Will his next word defuse this or ignite it? Let's weave in a subplot to thicken the stakes. Picture Marcus's daughter, Lena, 24, a law student at Howard. She's in his earpiece, Bluetooth still on from their call minutes ago. She hears everything. The shouts, the gun cocking, her father's measured replies. She's in her dorm, pacing, phone trembling in her hand. Lena's no stranger to this. She grew up hearing Marcus's stories, like the time he was frisked outside his own precinct as a rookie, mistaken for a suspect. But this is her hero, her rock, reduced to a target. She's recording it, whispering, "Dad, stay calm, I'm calling someone." She dials a friend at the DOJ, her voice shaking but fierce. Back on the highway, Marcus doesn't know she's listening, but he feels her somehow. Every choice he makes is for her, for the world she'll inherit. Hargrove's still in denial. "You're no Fed," he growls, shoving Marcus against the SUV. The guns back up, pressed to Marcus's ribs. Jenkins steps forward, timid. "Dan, the plates check out." "We should." Hargrove cuts him off. "Shut up, Rook. He's lying." Marcus locks eyes with him. "Call your chief. Call DC. You're making a mistake." Hargrove hesitates, then radios in, his voice smug. "Got a guy claiming he's FBI. Says he's big time. Check it." The dispatcher's reply is swift, stunned. "That's Marcus Tate. Director Marcus Tate. Stand down now." Hargrove's arm drops, the gun clattering to the pavement. His face goes pale, then red. Jenkins stares, mouth agape. Marcus straightens his tie, unflinching. "You're done," he says, quiet but lethal. Let's bring in a real-world echo to ground this. Think of Karen Nazario, that Black Army lieutenant pulled over in Virginia, 2020, uniform on, hands up, still pepper-sprayed, and threatened with execution. Or Philando Castile, 2016, shot dead in his car, his girlfriend live-streaming the aftermath. Marcus's story isn't new. It's a thread in a tapestry of confrontations where authority clashes with identity. But here's the twist. Marcus isn't powerless. He's the power. And that's where the controversy brews. Some might say Hargrove was just doing his job, that cops have to assume the worst for safety. Others, me included, see a man drunk on control, blinded by bias. What do you think? If this hits you, smash that like, share it wide, because we're not done peeling this onion. The aftermath unfolds fast. Backup arrives, state troopers, not locals, lights blazing. Hargrove's cuffed, stammering excuses. "I didn't know. I swear." Jenkins, shaken, spills to the troopers. Hargrove bragged about teaching uppity types a lesson on patrol. Bodycam footage seals it. Every word, every move, captured. By morning, Hargrove's in a cell, charged with assault, false imprisonment, civil rights violations. Marcus doesn't gloat. He's on the phone with the Attorney General, pushing for a broader probe into the department. Lena's at his side now, flown in overnight, her eyes fierce with pride and fury. "You could have died, Dad," she says. He nods. "But I didn't. And he won't forget." So what's the takeaway after all this? I've spent years dissecting these moments, and here's what I've learned. Power doesn't bow easy, but it bends when you force it to see you. Marcus didn't just survive. He exposed a fault line. Hargrove's jail time isn't the win. It's the ripple. Every cop watching that footage now thinks twice. But here's the debate. Was Hargrove a rogue or a symptom? Should Marcus have flashed his title sooner, or was his silence a stand against having to prove himself? I say it's both, systemic rot and personal choice colliding. The lesson? You don't beat bias by begging. You do it by being undeniable. Picture this final scene. Marcus at his desk, days later, staring at a photo of him and Lena. The highway's behind him, but its echo lingers. He's drafting that speech again, pen scratching. Justice isn't given. It's taken. If that line, that story, lights something in you, hit like, share it, because this isn't just Marcus's fight. It's ours, and it's far from over.